Kamila Pritchett was born in Virginia, but is a bona fide Miamian through and through. When she was a child, her family moved from Virginia to South Florida, where she began grade school and continued her formative studies in Miami-Dade County's public schools, graduating from the medical magnet program at Northwestern Senior High. She then obtained her associates in journalism and mass communication from Miami-Dade College, and later a Bachelor of Arts in English and an undergraduate certificate in African New World Studies from Florida International University. She's currently the executive director of the Black Archives History and Research Foundation of South Florida. Kamilah is a skilled writer, editor, and leader. Kamilah joined the Black Archives in 2013 as its development coordinator, later held positions as the operations and programming manager, and was recently appointed executive director in 2022. During her time here at the Black Archives, she has served as a key part of the team to oversee the reopening of the theater in 2014, the relocation of the archives from the Caleb Center in Brownsville to the Black Archives Historic Lyric Theater here in Overtown, the restoration and reopening of the historic D.A. Dorsey House, the development of the Black Archives Endowment Fund, and the growth and development of the organization's programming, membership, and donor base. Kamilah is deeply rooted in the community service here in Miami. She is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and the 2022 to 2024 president of the Greater Miami, Florida chapter of the Links Incorporated. She is also a member of the Association of African American Museums Board. Hi there, and thank you for joining us today. It's the dawn of a new era here at the Black Archives Historic Lyric Theater. And as we kick off the 110th anniversary celebration in recognition of the Crown of Overtown, we are also ushering in a new executive director who joins us today. Friends, meet Kamila Pritchett.
Hi, Bernadette. How are you?
Hi, welcome, and thank you so much for being here, and congratulations on your role. Thank you so much for taking time to talk with us today.
Delighted to be here.
Tell us what's the charge before you, and how are you preparing to preserve this important legacy right here in our community?
The charge before me is to be a good steward of our very rich and important Black history here in South Florida. I had excellent examples in our founder, Dr. Dorothy Jenkins Fields, who has made it her life mission to preserve our history and continue to tell our stories. And working at the Black Archives for 10 years prior to becoming executive director, I learned under the previous director, Timothy Barber, about how important it was not only to preserve our history, but also to make it available to the community at large. There are so many people who grew up in Miami who have very little knowledge about the important people, places, and events that happened that were formative in our city's history.
So tell us a little bit about what's going on with the Historic Lyric Theater.
Absolutely. Well, as you know, we're at a critical point in our history right now in this country. And so our history, Black history, is something that is more than ever needing to be protected. And as a part of our organization's mission in protecting that history and making it available, we also showcase aspects of our culture to the community. So we have lots of programming and activities here at the Lyric Theater that are a platform for us to amplify Black stories and to share with the community all of the creative aspects that we have within Miami. And so from the educational aspect that we have at the Black Archives, where you can come and you can learn and you can do research, we also have the arts and culture because, as you know, Overtown is on a resurgence now. And so what we are positioning ourselves at the forefront of that. The Crown of Overtown is sitting right in the heart of Overtown. And the Lyric Theater is a place where people from all walks of life can come, and it has always been that way. Even in its heyday at the turn of the 20th century, history, the Lyric Theater was a place where the community would come, and Overtown was a place where the community could come no matter what side of the tracks you were from, and you would feel welcome. And we do that here as well right now.
So continuing that legacy, continuing that movement, I know there are a number of things on schedule, planned to be revealed and shared. Tell us a little bit about the future of the Black Archives Historic Lyric Theater.
Sure. Well, we've been ushering the future with a lot of heightened activity here, and we've had partners putting all different types of programming here at the theater. But what we're looking ahead to is expansion of our space. We would like to expand on the Black Archives and provide space for a genealogy lab, additional research space, so we can better serve the community and really fit into those shoes as the premier institution for Black history and culture that we are. And in addition to that, we plan on engaging around the art community with our expansive and impressive Purvis Young art collection. We have almost 400 pieces of Purvis Young artwork, and we are going to be engaging in an art loan program so that corporations and people in the community will have access to that artwork and support the Black Archives at the same time.
And how can we, as a community, become more engaged, more involved?
What's really important to us is sustainability. The whole purpose of the archives is so that when we are no longer here to tell our stories, that history remains. And so building the sustainability of the organization is very important to us, which is why we've established an endowment. We started that in 2019 with Garth Reeves Sr. He was a board member, and he's a pioneer in Miami. His family started the Miami Times. We have a large collection of those newspapers. And for him, he thought it was very important that we did embark on that endowment so that we could not only work to survive in the day, but that we could survive into the future. The Black Archives is starting to really embrace technology as a means to make the archives more accessible, not only to scholars, but also to the youth and people who don't live in Miami. So we are updating our online archives so that people will be able to come on, and all of the things that we have in our collection from 1896 to present, eventually those things will be accessible online. And we've started that program this year. We received a wonderful grant from the Institute of Museum and Library Services, and through that grant we've been able to start digitizing our entire collection. And we're using technology because we know that the way forward is through the young people. And so we've been collaborating with youth groups and organizations in the community to curate programming that will engage young people around this work of history keeping. This is something that we know somebody is going to have to be back there for me to pass the baton to. And young people may not become interested in Black archives or Black history by the same means that brought me here. So I want to make sure that I'm listening to the future generations so that we can create programming that speaks to them, so that they can take this very important job of stewarding our history forward into the future.
Thank you for celebrating the crown of Overtown, because it makes all the difference in the world.
I'm honored to have this job.
So thanks again, and we'll see you next time.